Hey, how y'all doing? What's the word? It's your boy 253 Pure TV. What's the word, y'all? It's your boy 253 Pure TV back again with another reaction video. So today we react to Lil Durk, um, the Lil Durk's Hitman. Yeah, Lil Durk's Hitman. Lil Durk's Hitman laughed by killing Lil Pap. So we're gonna react to how Lil Durk got arrested and everything by the feds because he did a hit on Quando Rondo's man's Lil Pap. So we're gonna get right into it.
2024 interview with DJ Vlad, FBG Butter would ask how Dirk is still outside when everybody knows that he paid to have Quando killed and got Pab killed by mistake.
Who the you know name get brought up and with actual proven facts that you done paid me some money to go kill him up, and I'd have killed the wrong motherfucker too.
Butter then, seemingly with inside knowledge at this point,
FBG
months
Butter
before any arrest took place, would hint towards one of Pab's
FBG
shooters
Butter
actually
be
telling the
snitching.
police
They're
that
gonna
he
rap
killed
butter.
Dirk.
The police know I work for you. Because they say Shorty flat out told they like, man,
Yes, fake jewelry on too.
Lil Durk told me do that shit.
Fake Cartier.
And he paid me to do it. Showing receipts. Like, this gave me real money to get this man gone.
Despite having an explosive start to 2024, winning that Grammy for his inspirational song All My Life, behind the scenes, it seemed that Dirk was fighting his demons from the very top of the rap game. He was notably absent for a short period of time, and in June 2024, Dirk revealed that he'd actually gone to rehab for an addiction to codeine and Xanax, explaining how he was living too fast and decided that he wanted to focus on his family and peace.
So we got word that you were
June
in
2024.
rehab,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. I want to embrace it, you know what I'm saying? Because it helped me a lot. I won't even say it was tough at first. It was tough at first, but it ain't that tough because I really knew what I wanted. You know what I'm saying? I knew what was holding me back.
And what was that? What did you want?
I wanted better. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to be a better man, a better father, a better leader, you know, so, but more action. So I got to make sure that self is good before, anybody else. It helped a lot, you know what I'm saying? Just thinking clearer. See, my main goal is peace, you know what I'm saying? Being with the family and staying out of bullshit, you know what I'm saying?
Dirk would open up about feeling that his life was too fast before rehab.
Moving fast,
Moving fast.
making excuses, you know what I'm saying? Letting the drugs take over me. You know what I'm
Drugs.
saying? Yeah, just like codeine and everything. Just
Is that what it was? Was codeine?
yeah, Xanax. But make me
Life did
Dirk
Xanax.
wrote the
He
song
did
celebrating
Xanax.
his release from
It's crazy.
rehab,
This nigga
being
did
seen in a
Xanax,
Louis
bro.
Vuitton suit and a skinnier frame. The song was
He
called
did
Like
Xanax.
Hollywood for a Year, and it was a pain song with a 3-6 Mafia-inspired bridge that
This
sounds
nigga
like Dirk is
this
actually
nigga
saying
says,
farewell to his beloved codeine cough syrup. In one line, Dirk says
I
that he'll
know
give
Lil
$1
Durk
million
loves
to
Xanax, so
somebody who can prove he's a snitch, and another $1 million, but
love
then
the
appearing to
download.
stop short of rapping find him, as well as bragging that he has killers in his circle sharing his money and cars, and mocking someone saying that their homie's killer is still alive, but for Dirk, it's been a year since revenge.
Lil
It
Durk
seemed that Dirk
snitched
was
on
back,
himself, bro.
trying to put a brave face on
He
things
really
and
snitched
attempting
on
to get his
himself.
career on track. A month before his arrest, Dirk
He
releases a
tracks,
new
you know what
song
I'm
and
saying?
music video as a teaser for his upcoming album. The song's called Turn Up a Notch, and just over a week later, he would release yet another track, this time with an interesting title. The song was called Monitoring Me, and obviously had a theme to suggest that Dirk indeed knew that the authorities were watching his every move. And it also had some very suspect lyrics where Dirk says that he can't send money to his killers in his own name, and that he doesn't know if the feds are setting him up or if people are snitching. In another line that seemed to refer to the attempt to kill Quando that resulted in Pab's death, Dirk says that he wouldn't say his shooters missed their target because they were so close, as well as rapping more lines that he can use money to have people killed, then backtracking, saying that his killers will murder for his friendship regardless of payment, as well as bragging about having seen his killers commit murder, then backtracking again, saying that he didn't see it, he just heard the shooter shout, "Get up," to the victim, and going on
Man,
to
this
say
guy
that if
Trap
anyone
Ross
knows their locations, his
lyrics,
people will go there,
lyrics,
and
every
openly
single
admitting that
lyric.
he pays for his people for more than just murders, hinting at OTF's dual role as a label
Lyrics
and a
probably like this
murderous
nigga
gang.
doing
Not
every
only was the
breaking
song
down
called
all
a
my
self-snitching
lyrics. At
anthem,
least
but it came with a
I
music
would Dirk
video
on me
filmed
that
at,
too.
you guessed it, a gas station. This was a strange time, and once again, Dirk was seen to be
White
living a
dude from
double life,
England
clearly going into
breaking
promotion
down
mode.
my lyrics.
Dirk was
I
making
can
major
know me.
moves in the industry, but unlike his recent song release, some of what he was doing was actually positive. Dirk's 32nd birthday was coming up on the 19th of October, and he was planning to make this one special, announcing his first annual birthday show at Chicago's prestigious United Center, home of the Chicago Bulls, with a concert capacity of 23,500 people. The show was epic, and Durk drove from the dressing room to the stage behind a literal convoy of Hellcats and Trackhawks, then performing the song with that very name from the back of a moving pickup. It was also a star-studded affair, with Durk bringing a number of huge names in the rap game out, like Bossman D-Lo, Sexy Red, Nardo Wick, who performed Who Wants Smoke with Durk, and even Lil Baby. Another interesting move was choosing to use the event to unite with Chicago's top content creators, sharing the stage with prolific interview host DJ U and rapper turned Instagram comedian FYB J Main, notorious for his Whoop cereal and his pushing peace movement. With Durk's acceptance of J Main, who actually hails from 63rd and was very good friends with FBG Duck, as approval of his pushing peace agenda aiming to stop the gang wars. Notably, in the name of pushing peace, at one point in the show, Durk would even put up on screen a collage of fallen gang members from both sides of the war. This was during an extended on-stage speech reminiscent of Kanye's stadium shows, where he would tell the crowd that he was showing love to everyone in Chicago and telling the crowd to take a photo.
He put the op on there. Georgia.
I'm gonna do something never been done in time yet, right? We gonna show love to everybody we lost in Chicago. Funny, everybody put their phone lights out one time. But everybody we lost in Chicago, everybody, even if you're facing on the right here, still showing love.
The show looked absolutely lit, and I really wish that I was there, because it's kind of sad to imagine both Durk and the over 20,000 fans watching that this may very well have been Durk's last show. By this point, he was at the pinnacle of his career. With a huge catalogue of bangers, he would rap hit after hit back-to-back on stage to the sold-out stadium. It's a huge reminder of how much he very well may have just thrown away. But then again, despite releasing a song called Monitoring Me, Durk's situation with the law seems surprisingly good at this point. Strangely, in September, he announced that his felony record had been wiped clean of all cases, with Durk saying how he believed that everybody should get second chances at life. Seemingly, now able to travel internationally, Durk was making use of his newfound freedom with lavish trips abroad. Durk was even invited to dinner with Sheikh Mohammed bin Maktoum Bil Juma Al Maktoum,
Oh yeah, he went out to
family, where he received
beat his
$4
case.
million as a gift. Durk also made his first ever trip to my home country, London, in England, with him appearing outside freestyling in front of the iconic clock tower Big Ben and in the streets of upmarket Knightsbridge, even attending an NFL game with UK legends of the rap game, current king of UK drill Central C, Grime Clash veteran Chip, and road rap pioneer turned podcast pioneer Young Spray.
Bad people, get me. Come on, man. Bad people.
But despite the smiles, many people thought that Durk was cleaning house, knowing that bad news was just around the corner. In Durk's last IG Live, he was seen praying, perhaps asking the Lord to spare him from the consequences that may have been lurking. Also in October 2024, rap media would report that Durk's children had been sent on a trip to Disneyland. Perhaps this was truly an acknowledgement that their father was going to be absent for the remainder of their childhood, as the heartbreaking news would only be days away. And ultimately, on October the 23rd, 2024, things would come crashing down, when 5 affiliates of Lil Durk's Only the Family record label were arrested and indicted on serious charges, including conspiracy to commit murder for hire, committing murder for hire involving a death, and the use of a machine gun in a violent crime resulting in death. After the 5 members of his Only the Family crew were arrested in Chicago, it was only a matter of time before the feds would grab Durk himself. He likely knew the clock was ticking after news broke of his close OTF associates being taken off the streets. Durk would reportedly book multiple international flights in an attempt to not only get away, but also confuse the authorities and keep them guessing what his next move might be, with 3 flights all being booked to Switzerland, Dubai, and 1 private jet that was headed to Italy. Durk was in Miami and South Florida at the time, and according to an affidavit by FBI agent Sarah Corcoran, the Chicago rapper was attempting to flee to Italy before his arrest. All international flight bookings made on Durk's behalf would raise suspicions that Durk was planning to evade capture. The feds would immediately swoop in. Then the music would finally stop, as 2 days after his 5 friends were arrested, before Durk could board that private flight to Italy, federal agents would intercept him in Broward County, Florida on October the 25th. US Marshals would apprehend him, charging him with conspiracy for allegedly arranging that hit on fellow rapper Quando Rondo. The US Attorney's Office in the Central District of California announced the arrest of Lil Durk on charges of conspiracy to use interstate facilities in a murder-for-hire plot that resulted in a fatality.
I want to begin now with some breaking news. Rapper Lil Durk is charged in a murder-for-hire plot.
Lil Durk's real name is Durk Bank, and he is from Chicago. This is his mugshot from Florida, where he was arrested last night and is being held without bond. This comes only hours after 5 people associated with his music business were also accused in taking part in that murder-for-hire plot. Now, the plot targeted rapper Quando Rondo's cousin, who was killed in 2022. Investigators believe it was retaliation for the earlier murder of Chicago rapper King Von.
Local rapper and Grammy winner Lil Durk is being held behind bars in South Florida, charged in a murder for hire plot back in 2022.
The FBI says he was arrested while
2
trying to
years of
flee the country.
2 years. He
Investigators
got
believe Lil
2
Durk put
years
out a
of
hit on
investigation.
another rapper, Quando Rondo, in retaliation for the earlier murder of Chicago rapper King Von. Rondo's cousin also died in a shooting at a Los Angeles gas station caught on camera. Several of Lil Durk's associates have also been arrested in connection with this same plot.
The superseding indictment filed against Lil Durk himself would paint a detailed and damning picture of OTF as a criminal enterprise that was allegedly led and directed by Lil Durk himself. According to prosecutors, OTF operated not just as a music collective, but also as a violent organization that was engaged in murder, assault, and intimidation to maintain its dominance in the Chicago and broader music scene. The indictment alleges in black and white that Durk placed a bounty on Quando Rondo, promising financial rewards and lucrative opportunities within OTF to anyone who carried out the killing, and confirming that the murder of Pab was indeed revenge for the killing of King Von. Not only that, but this music-turned-murder enterprise had been incredibly sloppy in their actions, as the indictment would reveal an alleged text exchange where Durk would reportedly advise his shooters not to book no flights under no names involved with him. A tragic exchange suggesting that he was actively trying to cover his tracks and that his shooters had been incredibly cheap and reckless. And soon, Durk's situation would surpass Diddy's as the most trending topic in the rap media. Not only that, but those close to him would begin to find themselves under the magnifying glass too. In the aftermath of Durk's arrest, eyebrows began to raise about his ability to potentially influence the justice system and politics, with questions being asked about whether the mayor of Chicago would be giving back a $150K donation. But most importantly, all eyes would be on those in the indictment, both named and unnamed, as people would begin to uncover the dark, violent backstories of the perpetrators, as well as intensely speculating on exactly who might have been the informant and who might have been the connection in California who told Durk and his demons to fly out and kill Quando. The first of the OTF crew in this indictment, who seems to have been heavily involved in planning and executing Quando Rondo's hit, was Tavon London Grant, aka OTF Vonnie. OTF Vonnie is a key figure in OTF's inner circle for years, with his loyalty and presence around Lil Durk and King Von being well documented. Vonnie is also King Von's cousin and played a significant role in Lil Durk's operations as his business manager. Back in July 2019, Vonnie would be spotted with Durk and Von at the iconic Icebox jewelry store.
Can I get an OTF chain, man?
The way things are looking
7 years ago.
Yeah. Not gonna lie.
A1, right? A1, right?
22.
A1, right?
And by early 2020, he would once again be seen
6, 7
accompanying
years.
King Von as Von worked on designing and purchasing custom O-block chains that many believe were actually given out as trophies to celebrate the successful murder plot on FBG Duck.
Slimmer overall or just one?
Yeah,
Right
and,
over.
and I like the, you see how the leaves are, I like kind of like
Graffiti style.
Just like, check this out. As you see. It's like the, like a, oh no, it's like longer instead of wider. Like, see, that's kind of wider.
Right. I appreciate you guys. Once again, thank you so much.
Definitely.
Hey, thank you. Bro.
All right, guys.
Definitely.
Yeah, big dog. I don't think so. Yeah. So that's the only way I would.
Yeah, wrist big.
Yeah, a little red.
Yeah.
Yeah, it look like a big watch.
Since you're not picking these up today, I'm gonna send you a sample image of all of them.
All right, I'm texting to you anyway. I'm texting everything I write. So.
Well, I can text this back to you.
Yeah.
Following King Von's death in late 2020, Vonnie's proximity to Lil Durk only grew. By September 2021, he was back at Icebox, this time with Durk acting as a negotiator during a major jewelry purchase. In footage from the store, Vonnie can be seen haggling prices on Durk's behalf and carrying a massive stack of cash for the transactions.
3 1/4 and 2 1/4. 2 and a 2.75. 2 3/4. 3 1/4, 2 3/4. That's about 15% difference.
Come on, man.
How much would it be? That's what he had before. The old one is exactly the same size. You said so how big is it? 40 pounds. Appreciate it.
Chief,
Man, it's my birthday, man.
you ain't even know. You ain't even know I had.
No, that's how it goes. That's how it. Yeah, man. Birthday behavior, man. You around this. It's like the you were all see the Tom Hagen. Watch. The Godfather. Tom Hagen.
Finding an affordable place to live is harder than ever. High credit score requirements, big deposits, and long
This moment highlighted not only his close relationship with Durk, but also the level of trust that Durk was placing in him, with Vonnie seemingly handling significant amounts of money and playing a critical role behind the scenes for OTF. Another OTF member implicated in the paperwork is DeAndre Wilson, aka OTF Didi, or D-Ski, aka Big Threat. Didi had been involved in multiple violent altercations over the years, with him even managing to beat a murder case in 2023 in regards to a 2014 murder that took place in Chicago. This wasn't just any murder, but the alleged get-back for the murder of Tayski, who Taytown is named after, something which would have made Didi a very respected member within Taytown. Other co-conspirators include Keith Jones, aka Flacker. According to unverified sources, Flacker himself beat a murder case back in 2011 after allegedly being acquitted for the murder of Big Baby from Hula Gang, an almighty P-Stone set based in Sunnyside or Magnolia that has a long-standing rivalry with the Gangster Disciples in Rogers Park, Uptown. The gang is named in honor of fallen member High C, preserving his legacy within its ranks. Then there's David Brian Lindsay, aka Brown Eyes, who's also named as a co-conspirator on the indictment, and Asa Houston, aka OTF Boogie. However, along with Durk, there still remains two significant question marks, as two unnamed co-conspirators had their identities withheld by the feds on the indictment, leading many to believe that these individuals have perhaps turned informant. There's been rampant speculation on the potential identity of co-conspirator number 4, particularly LA rapper and rising podcaster and content star Brick Baby, mainly due to him being one of the first people that
Brick Baby is co-conspirator before. It's crazy. Lil Durk. They said Brick Baby snitched on Brick Baby.
Oh, because of FBG Cash?
Snitched on Lil.
Now, Brick has made numerous references to the crime in music, but in my honest opinion, there's really been no solid evidence provided to prove that he is actually the person that lined up Quando Rondo, just rampant speculation. In fact, Brick has talked about this case with so much openness and confidence, I personally believe that he was simply using the false allegations as fuel to boost his career, and it seemed to work. In fact, there's actually an alternative theory floating around the internet that the actual person who set up the murder is a lesser-known LA gang member by the name of TS from a set called Gutter Ave, with Reddit posts claiming that him and his friend had a personal vendetta against Quando after Quando refused to do a song with them. However, once again, at this stage, this is all speculation, and it's highly possible that this person's identity may never be revealed to the public. It could be somebody we have absolutely no idea about. The other person who people have speculated may have been informing the authorities is co-conspirator number 2, who's actually one of the shooters. There's been intense speculation on social media that this person is in fact a beloved member of Durk's crew by the name of OTF Jam, someone who Durk frequently rapped about, saying that Jam vets killers for his crew, along with one rather suspicious line where Durk points out that Jam is always very serious when they talk on the phone. Well, real name Casey Hester, OTF Jam was once considered a rising star within Durk's Only the Family label. In 2010, Jam was convicted of a shooting, being sentenced to a minimum of 12 years in prison for attempted murder. He would complete his jail term in February 2022. Lil Durk would post a picture of the stack that he had for OTF Jam as soon as he got out, with some Reddit Sherlocks counting and deducing it was over $250,000. In an interview in May 2023, Jam himself would verify that Lil Durk had taken care of him, giving him over $50,000 when he got released.
Because he's super solid, but like a lot of, like, you know what I'm saying? He said Jam get out that jam and give him 50, he ain't got to ask again, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? He ain't got to ask, bro. He said he gave you 50, bro. You know what I'm saying? Fact? More than that. More than that. But so, can you tell us how much he gave you, or you don't want to even?
I ain't got to get into all that stuff. Bro made sure he made a way for me to be straight. Like he's saying, gotta ask him, you know, like, 2 years cop. He doesn't take care of anything I can.
This is why people were surprised that when a year later, he would become a focal point in reports suggesting that he may have cooperated with the authorities against Lil Durk. Jam even had his very own track on the highly incriminating OTF mixtape, Loyal Bros 2, released just months after the murder of Pav, a song ironically called Federal Freestyle, with lyrics where Jam raps solo, admonishing others for snitching and asking suspicious questions. After Durk's statement suggested a member of OTF had been cooperating with the feds by wearing a wire for the span of 2 years, Jam's snitching allegations would surface on various media platforms, and adding to the speculation, a photo would be posted on social media appearing to depict Jam dining on fast food whilst reportedly cooperating with the feds in the case. This photo, shared by DJ Academics, shows Jam glancing at a security camera while eating, prompting captions like "Bro really snitched on Durk for McDonald's." However, it would later turn out that this image was a AI-generated fake, but that didn't stop the speculation. The next day, on October the 28th, 2024, internet personality Wack 100 would support the reports that OTF Jam had indeed cooperated, explaining the details in a Vlad TV interview. Wack would go on to explain that although Jam served his whole 12-year sentence, he would get a gun charge that resulted in him wearing a wire for 2 years.
There's a guy named OTF Jam.
That was wired.
Very ironic name.
Jam got him in the jam. Did 12 years.
12
got
years.
out, interviewed, said he kept it real, brought him cars, gave him 50,000.
Right.
This. made mention that ain't no smut on his name. He ain't never been a rat. Caught a gun case, but eventually he failed.
Yep.
He got put in the jam, and now he's
Right. OTF Jam did 12 years for attempted murder back, I guess, around 2010. He got out in 2022, right around the same time of the Quando situation. And he allegedly had been wearing a wire for the last 2 years.
from 22 to 24.
Yeah.
So he immediately got caught up.
Yes.
Then, on October the 30th, footage would circulate on the internet, allegedly showing an uncomfortable-looking OTF Jam, footage which people believed showed him wearing a wire near Lil Durk. The viral footage would show a nervous Jam looking anxious around Durk, with many alleging that Jam was looking very uncomfortable, triggering suspicions that at this point he was recording. But there's no proof of that.
Check on your man, let him get here to this area. Hey. Ain't gonna lie, man. Hey, when I was growing up, I don't have a day architect. Let's go! You should be over there, roll over the arm, my dad. He called me with a cast. So I'm thinking my shit. I'm like, man, this thing booming, man. He laughed. He's playing the bit. I say, smooth. In case
Real Durk, suspicion.
trying to tell him.
Additionally, unverified claims would surface alleging that Durk had actually ordered a hit on a woman speculated to be close to OTF Jam after suspecting Jam of being an informant. According to an interview between academics and Chicago reporter Trench's News, the mother of Jam's child actually contacted Durk after Jam was arrested, and Durk refused to pay his bond. An apparent threat was then made to Durk.
Get bonded out, and they don't know nothing about no white, but he did make a threat to his Durk, like, if you want to come in, you know what I'm talking about, how you gonna place somebody who be putting in work and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? And they took it as a threat, and that he told us. I don't know how he got mixed in with the Quando Rondo, but yeah, they say
I've been holding you down because I heard you say something about like his baby mama called Durk for a lawyer, and Durk may have like brushed it off, and they're like, yo, you're not supposed to brush off my call when I need something. Like, I'm the guy who does the Durk.
that's facts. And like, you got some real demons out there, like, you finna find me out, no matter what I did, or you gonna come in with me. Sometimes you gotta make them threats, jump off their couch and go snatch time on you.
According to news reports, on July the 19th, 2024, Octavia Redmond, a 48-year-old postal worker, had been brutally gunned down in broad daylight whilst delivering mail in Chicago's West Pullman neighborhood. A 15-year-old kid ran up to her in front of the house, shooting her 26 times, execution style, and she would die in the hospital.
Developing this morning,
I read 26 times. For what? Why did they shoot her for a postal worker? A black postal worker. Chicago's crazy. She shot her 26 times. That's assassination right there. You want her dead.
A look at that new video. So, Mugo, what does it show? Well, first off, we know the U.S. Postal Inspection Service is already offering a $250,000 reward for information leading to an arrest and conviction in this case. And now, Chicago police are hoping the new video gets them closer to the killer. So here's that video on your screen. Part of it shows a man get into a white Dodge Durango near 70th and Campbell. This is right before the shooting. Then at some point, the same video shows a man getting out of that Durango near 121st and Harvard. He runs across the street and out of view. Then he runs back to the car before it drives off. Police say on that day, Friday, July 19th, around 11:40 in the morning, 48-year-old postal worker Octavia Redmond was in front of a home near 121st and Harvard when a man walked up to her and shot her. She died at the hospital. The Dodge Durango used in the shooting was later found abandoned and torched in the middle of a field on South Holland Avenue. Now, anyone with information on this shooting is asked to call Area 2 detectives, or you can leave anonymous tips at cpdtip.com.
$250,000 reward for any information leading to the arrest and conviction of the perpetrator, with an anonymous tip leading up to the arrest of the juvenile killer in Iowa.
Breaking news at this hour, a 15-year-old boy is charged with shooting and killing an on-duty U.S. Postal Service worker. He's accused of murdering 48-year-old Octavia Redmond on 121st and Harvard back in July. Chicago police officers and the U.S. Marshals Great Lakes Regional Fugitive Task Force took him into custody yesterday in Cedar Rapids, Iowa. The teen was extradited to Chicago and is set to appear in juvenile court sometime this month. Detectives received an anonymous tip that helped identify the suspect.
This murder had been circulated with many headlines that suggested that this was OTF Jam's baby mother. However, a user on X would debunk these claims, alleging that Redman had absolutely no connection or affiliation to OTF. Official reports and reputable news outlets have not since established any link between Redmond and OTF Jam, hence there's no credible evidence to support the assertion that they had any personal or familial ties. Some users, however, have still ran with this speculation, suggesting that the killing was somehow a targeted attack, with the shooter intentionally approaching her and mistaking her identity as the intended target, with some going even as far as to suggest that this was another hit sent from Durk that ended up killing an innocent bystander. I personally don't buy it. Now, it's important to note that the criminal complaint and indictment documents do not explicitly name Jam as an informant, though they do reference an unnamed individuals and key witnesses by their initials. This has even led to subreddits questioning whether or not it's really Jam who got Durk in the jam. And while I personally believe it's likely that Jam could be the informant, at this stage there's still no proof and paperwork to confirm this. There's really no way of knowing for sure until this goes to trial. In December 2024, OTF Jam would finally break his silence with a scathing social media post denying being the snitch in the case and accusing other OTF members of disloyalty and sloppy behavior, attracting the attention of law enforcement rather than him. Currently, Durk, Vonnie, Dee and Boogie are held at the Metropolitan Detention Center, or MDC, Los Angeles, awaiting trial. And since his arrest, the only thing we've heard from Durk is a phone call from jail that would suggest that despite his celebrity status, he turned down protective custody and is now navigating life behind bars in general population.
I said, I know you're rich, but if you need anything, you know I got you.
I appreciate it. You know, start that count,
Yeah, hell yeah. I know how that should be, bro. It don't matter, bro. We ain't never moved our money except for that first time. Once it was that, it was that. Once it was like then, it was everything was history.
Yeah. I feel back to the same. I came up here like, yeah, where you from? What you got going? I see it too, yeah.
Man, what? The PC? Hey. Hey, I respect your mom forever. The PC.
Downstairs, they be like, man, you know you, man, send me upstairs. Whatever it is, I got to tap to it. Nah, for sure. Can't go no more. You come back out, right?
Guys, there was a hearing for Lil Durk's situation today, and the paperwork is just circulated on Reddit, and it's not looking too good.
He's wearing a Mariners hat. That's crazy. This nigga's wearing a Mariners hat. Hey, shout out to Trap Lord Ross
but it does appear to
shout out
that they actually
Trap Lord
do
Ross
intend
for
to
representing
file
Seattle. He's wearing a
more
Mariners
murder
hat.
charges,
Look.
apparently murder in aid of racketeering charges, and this is all basically in response to Didi's motion to kind of sever and, you know, separate himself from Durk's situation. And the feds are saying absolutely not. And now they're releasing more surveillance footage that shows that Didi was very much involved. They've actually got surveillance footage of the killers of Lil Pab basically kicking it in In-N-Out Burger right after the murder, while Lil Pab's body was getting pulled out of the shot up Escalade in the middle of the street. These guys were all together getting an In-N-Out, and Didi was there, and ain't no severance. All of that talk of like, oh no, he ain't really not have nothing to do with the planet. Nah, you there with the killers getting a burger. So this is very, very bad. Okay. So this is what's just come out.
It says
the government responds to OTF Didi's application for bond reconsideration today in court, and I did know they were having a court date today. It says the government
cold-hearted killer drive. That's some cold-hearted shit. Kill somebody. Like me, if I go kill somebody, right?
So they said they really got these dudes 45 minutes later laughing at In-N-Out or Five Guys. When the government wants you, they will find you. So this is what
that's some cold-hearted shit to do, man.
Application for bond reconsideration is premised on the government's decision to bring additional murder charges arising from the execution-style murder that the defendant and his co-conspirators committed on August 19th. Defendant. Now, what's interesting here, it says they're planning to bring additional murder charges from the execution-style murder the defendant and his co-conspirators committed. That's confusing because that makes me think that that's weird because that just makes me think that, like, that doesn't suggest that they're actually going to put the Stefan Mack murder on him. It suggests that they're going to put more charges from the murder related to the murder on Didi. So it says defendant falsely suggests his role in the LA murder is materially subordinate to every other charged defendant. Both arguments lack merit and should be rejected. Indeed, the facts before the court only strengthen the case for detention. Defendant allegedly committed the charged murder while released on bond facing separate murder charges in Chicago. Defendant was later acquitted of that conduct His criminal history, including pending state charges for aggravated unlawful use of a weapon, established his continued dangerousness. Dangerousness, a bit of a weird word to use. Is that actually... Is dangerousness a real word? It appears to be a real word. So this is defendant's leadership role in the charged murder further supports denying his request for bond reconsideration. Defendant is charged with recruiting other hitmen to travel across the country to hunt and kill Quando Rondo, a rival of Durk. Defendant and the other hitmen traveled to California to carry out the brazen, premeditated gang murder. Once they arrived, defendant and his co-conspirators used 2 vehicles to track and stalk Quando from the night of August 18th till the afternoon of August 19th, when the murder occurred, specifically after tracking the rival to a busy gas station in Beverly Hills. And it says 3 of the defendant's co-conspirators opened fire with multiple firearms, including a machine gun, missing their intended target and murdering Savia Robinson, aka Lil Pab. Now, here's where things get a little bit spicy, okay? And I'm a little bit confused why this is kind of such lower quality compared to this one. That is a little bit sus, if you ask me. But anyway, it says surveillance video shows less than 45 minutes later, while SR's bullet-riddled...
They're at In-N-Out Burger. Look at In-N-Out Burger.
Defendant was ordering food and laughing with his co-conspirators as depicted in the screenshot below.
Probably talking about, oh, look at that
Not
body
a close
drop.
case.
That's some cold-hearted shit.
Significant includes testimony from
Probably
multiple witnesses,
oh, that body
messages,
drop. Look at that.
showing defendant recruited others to help with the crime, and other evidence showing defendant's leadership role in the alleged gang enterprise. Defendant's willingness to commit murder while on pre-trial release for murder shows a complete disregard for the law and establish he poses an extraordinary danger to the community. Contrary to the defendant's position, the government's decision to bring new charges, 1, alleging additional murder and violent crimes committed by the defendant's gang enterprise, is not mitigating. So it says, as defendant noted in his filing, for transparency and in light of the August 20 trial date, the government informed defense counsel that it intended to bring additional charges, including murder in aid of racketeering, vicar murder, and violation of 18 U.S.C., and conspiracy to commit stalking in violation of 18 U.S.C. So that line suggests that they are actually letting the court know that they are planning to bring the Stefan Mack murder to the table. Okay. So pretty much, right, it says it's not mitigating. No conditional combination of conditions can reasonably assure either the safety of the community or the defendant's appearance. The application for bail should be denied. Defendant must be detained pending trial where no conditional combination of conditions will reasonably assure the appearance of the person required and the safety of any other person in the community. There was a case law that they're citing. Basically says it affirms the detention order even though murder for hire defendant had never previously been charged with a violent crime, because the record contains compelling evidence of the defendant's participation in the charged crimes and his knowledge and acquiescence in the use of violence to commit them, which admits a clear and compelling finding he posed a threat of future harm. Basically, it's saying, okay, he participated in a gang murder. While he was on bond, or while he was awaiting trial for another murder.
Yo, free Durk, man. I just wanted to say, man, free Durk, y'all. Free Durk, free smurk. You feel what I'm saying? It's an unfortunate situation that he's locked up, that he's caught up in all this when he was in the height of his career. Like, this guy was he was in the height of his career. He had big shows and stuff like that. And it's crazy how he's caught up in this, man. Free Durk, man. Hopefully he's free. You know what I'm saying? It's unfortunate. You know what I mean? And long live the person that lost their life. You know what I mean? Violence is for sure. It's for sure sad because, man, I ain't gonna lie. Like, he was really on top of his career. You know what I mean? As an artist, I fucked with him. You know, sad to see that he's in the situation, and hopefully God brings him out of the situation. Like, comment, subscribe, y'all. Let me know your thoughts about this video. Y'all think OTF Jam he had a wire for 2 years, or you think that's just speculation? Let me know in the comment down below. Y'all think OTF Jam was snitching on Durk the whole time and he had a wire, or do you think that that's just false allegations to try to put that on him? So let me know, y'all. We on the road 300 subscribers. We're only 3 more subscribers away from hitting that 300 mark. We're currently at 296. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. We out of here, y'all.